distinguished colleagues on the dais, friends in this August gathering. I can see my friend UP Singh a little worried. I don't know how long I'm going to stand between him and yourselves. I mean, I don't intend to take your time, but I won't stay for long. I can promise that. Well, friends, it was, I can see a lot of people missing also from the dais now. It was a great learning for me, and it's very happy situation to see as to how the integration of various services in an urban area are to be accomplished and how they are to be achieved. And I must compliment, I heard Ritu halfway, and I heard the Greater Noida CEO fully, so I must compliment as to the initiative which you are taking. So I have to say a few, and that also reminded me about what is that Singapore platform, what is it called, Virtual Singapore or something. That is a platform which integrates everything of Singapore in one, which is whether it is the police, security, or the transport, or the health, or the and other related things. And similarly, there are a lot of innovations which have been done, like there is a software in Columbus which also provides that kind of integrated platform. So those kind of innovations are happening. Now, something different, I mean, as to what is being done. Issue is, friends, and more to my distinguished colleagues on the dais, as to how to promote innovations. We may be doing a lot of innovations in Noida, Greater Noida, or Indore, or Ujjain, or Mysore, and likewise. And these micro success stories have been happening for the last 34 years, which I have spent in the public service. We also take pride in our individual capacity as to we did this, and we did that. We did all that. So the thing is that how to translate these micro success stories to the macro success, and how to scale it up. What the authorities should be doing to encourage innovations, and what are the innovations which are happening, like the last mile connectivity which I have talked about. I'm talking about the mobility because in that area I am working. Last mile connectivity is about the electric bikes, two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and whole lot of experiments are happening. And since we have started talking about the electric mobility, electric vehicles, there are so many entrepreneurs, so many people coming forward to provide the mobility or the connectivity. Now, friends, we organized a mobility summit about a year back, and the Prime Minister in that, inaugurating that mobility summit, spoke about the clean, connected, cutting edge, common, convenient, 7 C's he gave about what should be the mobility. And the issue is that how to bring the mobility to the center stage of the economic activity, which is very essential. And why is it that we are talking about mobility now, and why is it that we are talking about the changing paradigms of mobility? Firstly, 15 cities out of the top 20 most polluted cities of India are, of the world, are in India. The entire northern belt is not livable if you talk about the AQIs right now, and it will remain so till about February, end of February, or maybe March. So pollution or the environmental considerations as to, and transportation adds to 20 to 25% to that pollution standards, pollution levels, besides the construction industry, which is the major culprit. What is the second thing is that our import bills for the crude. And thirdly, look at the Indian size and the scale. We manufacture 28 million vehicles. We are the largest two-wheeler manufacturers in the world, largest three-wheeler manufacturers in the world. We are the 4th largest passenger vehicle four-wheeler manufacturers in the world, and the kind of the size and the scale which this country provides, how to make the best use of that size and scale to attain a global leadership position, and that is very much possible if we shift over from the internal combustion to the electric motors, because there is no rocket science in the electric vehicle or electric motor technology except the cell chemistry. The cells are not made in India, but that's only roughly about 20% of the cost of an electric vehicle as per the current pricing, and the prices of the cells are going down very sharply. So this is what probably gives us the paradigm or the scenario as to why we should be adopting, moving forward toward the cleaner sources of the energy, as said by none other than the Prime Minister. Along with that, I was just now talking about it to the CEO Noida. Now, what kind of a thought process should be going into the providing mobility to the people and to the freight and the goods, that is the logistics. Point-to-point connectivity, which puts less stress on our resources. We have to provide the kind of shared mobility which is very much needed. I was just giving the statistics for any good public transport system globally. The standard is that one bus should be there for a population of 1,000 people. Now, 100 per 1 lakh. India has about only 12 buses per 1 lakh population. And UP has only 7.5 buses per 1 lakh population. Now, who is looking after the public transport systems in the 4 cities which you are talking about? Who is responsible for that? And if we provide good quality public transport systems, our stress on the roads would be much less because of the road sizes and the infrastructure that we have. So we have to think about it, we have to work for it as to what kind of a shared mobility could be provided, and why the metros are successful only because they provide reasonably good quality shared mobility for the mass transit. Friends, when we talk about these things in these kind of gatherings, in the elite crowd or the illustrious distinguished gatherings, we generally tend to forget that India is different. We have a totally different informal transport system in the country prevailing. When we plan our things, we tend to forget about it. We forget that the marriage parties, the barats in India still travel on tractor trolleys or old-time 407, Tata 407s. We forget that how many people do really travel by the informal transport systems in the country. And when we talk about the providing leadership to the other towns of UP, we can design, we can build good towns, new towns. But friends, the biggest challenge is how to convert these new towns and integrate with them with the traditional towns of Banaras, Kanpur, or Prayagraj, or Gorakhpur, Gonda, Bahraich, Jalon. How to integrate these towns? We have thousands of years old civilization. How do we integrate? How do we convert those towns, those cities into the smart? We talk about the smart cities. What is the definition of smartness? What is the definition of a smart city? Smart for whom? Smart for us or smart for Bharat? We need to think about it. When we plan about things, friends, we in the Niti Aayog are working on these issues as to how to scale up the things when we transform, when we take the smart cities, when we try to provide solution to the cities. How do we take it up? How do we scale it up from the micro pilot projects to the macro level and try to provide a solution to the entire country? We heard a lot has been talked about Indore. Well, Indore has taken care of its garbage, the way they are processing it, the way they are cleaning up. But then we have not been able to have the same solutions in the neighborhood of Delhi itself, or rather in Delhi itself. So these are the realities, these are the challenges which we cannot ignore, friends. I thought it would be appropriate and to be here and learn as to what is happening, and it's very interesting to see. I hope that the discussions or the deliberations which go on in this conference will go a long way in providing the solution, but this was some of the ideas which came to my mind as to which should not be ignored while the deliberations are going on. Thanks for the organizers for inviting me. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.